Okay, getting ready to start my next project, and it's going to be taking this. This used to be a ironing board, and for some reason, it's in the master bedroom. I don't know why, but it just seemed kind of an odd place for it. Well, we took the ironing board and the door and everything out when we first moved in, and that's been about 7.5 years. So it's time to get this done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this ironing board housing area right here, and I'm going to build some inset shelves. Okay, got the the ironing board frame, got that pulled out of the wall. Looks like it should be a pretty straightforward, just basic open frame with shelves dadoed into it. Really is about all it is. And I think I'm going to go with mitered corners on it instead of doing what I normally been doing lately on all my box frames, is I've been doing rabbets at the top, but tops and bottoms. But I think this time I think I'm going to go with the mitered corners and just give it a little bit cleaner look. And then I'll look and see what I've got for trim pieces that can go along the outside, just to kind of make it look a little nicer and a little more finished. We'll see. Maybe it might be a little too much trim pieces around the door and around that. May just get some spackling and just smooth off the edges. I don't know. We'll see. But first thing I got to do is I got to sand all this down, get all this nice and smooth, because when they built the house, the texture is pretty much all over, and this is really rough. So I'm gonna have to grab the palm sander, come in here, clean or sand all this up, clean it all up, and then I've already got the measurements made, and then start cutting the basic frame, and then I'll figure out where my dados are gonna go. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut the two sides, and they need to be 60 and 10/16. And then I'll just get those cut to fit, and they're going to be 4 inches wide, so I need to rip those down to size as well. So I'll be back when I get those in place. Got the two sides cut. These common boards are actually about 5/16 of an inch too short, so I might have to kind of put something on the bottom to raise it up a little bit. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the top and the bottom cut. Okay, got the patching work. I got the this is the first board. It's just set in here right now, getting it flush with the wall. And got the top one there, and got the two sides out in the shop. I'll get to those in just a minute. Basically what I did was I just went through and filled in any seams that weren't filled in, because obviously this was the inside of the wall, so it's not finished. So I got that patching done, so let that sit overnight. I'm not going to be able to do anything about these until I go to build the closet organizer inside the closet, because that's actually holding up a rack that's actually in use still at the moment, so I won't be able to pull those out just yet. But hopefully we're going to be doing some work on the house here soon. This is just kind of the start of it. So we need to get that closet organizer going so I could pull those out. But those will be on the top shelf. The top shelf is going to be 6 inches down. So you might not even be able to see those. But they'll be out soon, I hope. Alright, so there's the basic casing is done. All I got to do now is just really work on the wood pieces. And here's the wood sides. I've got them marked where I need the dados to go. One here, just along a few spots. I'm going to have basically about 7 shelves. The one on the bottom I'm counting as a shelf. But the first 2 shelves are going to be 10 inches each. Then the next 2 shelves are 8 inches each. And then the next 2 are 6 inches each. And that ends up with exactly 6 inches here. So that actually worked out pretty good. So I probably won't run these through the table saw today. I got to kind of set up the crosscut sled and set it to a 1/4 inch depth, because I'm going to go with 3/4 inch dados, because the boards that I'm going to be making for the shelves are 3/4 of an inch wide. So and dados are going to be 3/4 inch dados. They're going to be a 1/4 inch inset. That way it'll give me some pretty good meat in here. So give me a 1/2 inch that they'll still be pretty sturdy. So probably cut these tomorrow. I wasn't able to work on this yesterday on the shelf, so I definitely have to get as much done today as I possibly can, because I can't leave my wall just kind of open like that. So getting back on this, I got it marked out, I got them taped together, and I'm going to try to run these through. I'll switch over to my crosscut sled, and I'm going to try to run these both through at the same time, but together that makes an 8-inch board. I don't know if my crosscut sled can do that, but if not, then I'll just transfer the lines. I've got them taped together, so if I can, then that would be perfect. It'd be a lot easier. So what they are is they're 3/4 inch dados, like I explained earlier, with a 1/4 inch inset. So we're going to switch over to the crosscut sled, and then we're going to cut these dados. Okay, thankfully both boards do fit at the same time, so I've got my blade set to 1/4 of an inch, so we don't go any higher than that. Got my feather board set up here, so because the first cut's going to be way down there, and as you can see, I don't have my extension here on this side built yet. So yeah, I'm going to use the feather board, just make this a little bit safer and easier. So we're going to go ahead and cut these dados. Got all the dados cut. Got them all smoothed down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take the 4 pieces that I have of the main frame, and I'm going to go ahead and put those in place and install them, and then I'll go ahead and cut for the shelves. Got the frame opening, got it all cleaned up, got all the old caulking that was on it. Got that all cleaned up, everything smoothed out, filled in a few of the holes in the back. It's all going to get painted anyhow. So what I'm doing now is I'm installing the frame for the shelves, and I'm just running 1/4 inch screws in countersunk holes. I don't need a whole lot of them because I'm not trying to sturdy it. I really just need it to hold in place. So I'm going to start getting these side pieces in and make sure my dados are lined up and even, and we'll get the main frame put in. Got the main frame installed. I do believe I have my dados lined up. I did check them. It looks like I might have to tweak a couple of them here and there. I don't know. We'll see. But the main frame's installed. What I'm going to do now is go cut the shelves. And there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Got all 6 shelves in now. So that's pretty... it's pretty set, it's pretty sturdy. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't have the shelves glued in or bratted or screwed in or anything. They're just pounded in there, tapped in there, and they're pretty solid and pretty sturdy. They're not going to come out. So that's going to work for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and just kind of flatten everything out, make sure everything is sitting fairly flush, and then fill in all the little gaps in the corners, and then I'm going to go around and put a bead of caulking around everything. The whole thing's going to get a bead of caulking all the way around it, and then I'm going to round over all of the edges. And then what I'll do is I'll go through, I'll texture everything except for the very tops of the shelves. I won't texture that. And then when it's all said and done, when we redo the house, we're just going to go ahead and paint that right into the wall. So it'll look like it was part of the wall. Okay, my putty's really not doing too well. It's pretty hard. I want to see if I can maybe, reconstitute some of this. It's just not laying very well, and I kind of need it to on this because I got to fill everything in. So I'm going to put some water in this, see what I can do. It looks like this is going to be my stopping point for today. I've got all the putty work done, got all the caulking around the back edges done. So really there's nothing more to do now than to just let it dry, smooth sand it, get it all nice and smooth, and then I'm going to shoot it with coat of Kills, and then I'll texture it. And then after that we'll just paint it the same color that we paint the room, whatever color we decide. So here's the inset shelves. And like I said, all I got to do now is just smooth them down and texture it. Okay, next morning, getting back on what I can do with the inset bookshelf or inset shelf unit. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over all the sanding, all the putty work and everything that I did yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and go over it with an 80 and then maybe possibly a 220. I may not have to go over it with the 220 because most of this is going to get textured anyhow. Everything except the shelf tops, everything else is going to get textured. So I don't need it real super smooth. So I'm going to sand that down and then see how much kills I have and see if I can get it all painted. But I don't know if I will. I don't know if I have that much. Got everything sanded down. Got everything smooth. I don't, like I said, I don't really need it super smooth because it's all going to get textured anyhow. So it's going to get textured to match the wall. So this is good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and clean it up, and I'm going to see how far I can get with the can of kills I have. Okay, well actually I have 3 cans of kills out there and not 1 can of them will spray. So I don't have any kills that I could spray on this for now. So this is pretty much done until we get the stuff to redo the house. Built-in ironing board removed. And inset shelves installed. And here is the finished inset shelves. Got it all textured. Got it smoothed out, painted, molded with the wall. So it fits right in and just looks like it's part of the wall. So inset shelves are done.